Let's check in with Ken Starr. He has a new book out. It's called Contempt, a memoir of the Clinton investigation. It's not particularly friendly toward the Clintons. He was the chief counsel, the independent counsel, investigating the Clintons from 1994 to 1999 after Robert Fisk said, okay, that's it, Travelgate, Filegate, Vince Foster, nothing here. In came Ken Starr. Ken, welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you, Tom.
You said a couple of days ago on TV, we don't want investigators and prosecutors out on a fishing expedition. I'm baffled by that, and I'm baffled by your choice to follow apparently Brett Kavanaugh's advice to go for the most salacious details. I remember driving down the street back in the day there, listening on NPR as they were reading from your report about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky having sex with a cigar in the Oval Office, and thinking, what the hell does this have to do with the governance of the United States? Why did you go down that road?
Yeah, because the president lied under oath, Tom. He lied in the civil deposition, a sexual harassment lawsuit filed in federal court. That's why the book is named Contempt. Bill Clinton is the only president in American history to have been held in contempt. Not even Richard Nixon was held in contempt. And then in terms of the detail, because the President of the United States put us to the task of proving that he had committed perjury, that he had obstructed justice, that he had suborned perjury.
But this was all because you launched this great penis hunt in 1994. Well, actually, it didn't become the great penis hunt until 1997. I mean, you know, you tried over and over and over to take this guy down. You personally reopened the Vince Foster investigation. You know, Travelgate, Filegate, Whitewater. You know, yeah, if he was involved in financial improprieties, you know, with the Whitewater investigation, turns out he just lost money in a stupid investment. But if that had been something that had then been used to, you know, to promote his campaign, as it looks like perhaps we're seeing with Trump and the Russians and all this other kind of stuff, then sure, look into that. But everything you just described, Ken Starr, had to do with a blowjob. I mean, I don't see where that, you know. Please name for me, outside of Jimmy Carter, one president in the history of the United States that there's not some documentary evidence that he had an affair while he was in the White House.
Hey, Tom, let me correct a profound misunderstanding on your part. So if you'll give me the floor for about 30 seconds, the Monica Lewinsky investigation was authorized by Janet Reno. Why? Because of, you can characterize it any way you want, but we're talking about, ignore it if you will, perjury and subordination of perjury in a federal civil rights case. Janet Reno said, I have a duty under the law. We're talking about law. And the facts that we recounted, unfortunately, they were, of course, they're unfortunate, but Bill Clinton could have spared us all. You, riding in your car, if he had chosen to tell the truth and not lie under oath and go into contempt. So that's just.
But why is it any of our damn business, Ken? I mean, you know, why did the Republicans? You had, you know, Newt Gingrich was boffing Caligula, or Callista, I guess is her name. You know, in the back room while he was married to his second wife while this was going on. Bob Livingston was having an affair literally in his office while this was going on. Bob Barr was having an affair literally in his office while this was going on. And these are the guys who were leading the morality charge against, oh my God, we've got a president who assaults women. And you jumped into it with both feet, and Brett Kavanaugh says, go for the most salacious stuff. And I end up listening to crap about cigars and vaginas in my car. I don't want to hear that. I'm reluctant to even say it right now on the radio. I'm just astonished, you know, particularly after, you know, your involvement at Baylor, you know, the allegations that you were covering up sexual crimes at Baylor, that you would even go there.
Well, you're a very good characterizer, but you're not dealing with the fundamental legal fact. You've not mentioned Attorney General Janet Reno. You have not mentioned, Tom, the special division of the U.S. courthouse, who then looked at.
But it wouldn't have gotten there if the Republicans hadn't been launching what I would, I think that Donald Trump would call a witch hunt.
Is this a conversation, or do you want to just continue ranting?
Well, normally in conversations, people interrupt people from time to time. I'm trying to give you, as much time as you need. Go for it.
Well, thank you. Well, you're repeating yourself, and so I'm going to repeat myself. You're using very, very interesting language. I'm not using the language. You're upset by the language. What I'm saying to you, two things. Attorney General Reno authorized the Lewinsky investigation because you refuse to use a P word that begins with perjury. You refuse to...
No, what I'm saying, Ken, what I'm saying is that you're trying to start this entire narrative. At that point in time, when when the political pressure had come on Janet Reno as the Attorney General, that she had to do something, say something, flip some switch, but that political pressure was the result of a campaign that started in 1992, right after the election, where a bunch of billionaires decided the Arkansas Project and other things that subsequently came along decided we've got to take this guy down and we're going to do whatever it takes. And so maybe he was in this bad land deal. Oh, nothing there. Oh, maybe his wife did something wrong at the Rose Law Firm. Oh, nothing there. Oh, maybe it was wrong that he fired some travel agents. Oh, nothing there. Well, what else is there? Oh my God, this woman had an affair with him in the White House. This is it. We're going to go. You're completely ignoring all that history.
Tom, you are rewriting history. Tom, will you please listen? You're on a rant, with all due respect.
That's what I do for a living.
Good. Well, you're very good at it, but you're not very good with the facts. 14 criminal convictions. And if you have read my book, and you're not talking about my book, which is your business, you have the First Amendment rights.
Your book is Contempt, a memoir of the Clinton investigation by Ken Starr.
Thank you. And
you're welcome.
Book, thank you. It's very kind. The book is about, and the story is told, and you can reject the story, of how we considered the indictment of Hillary Clinton for perjury and other offenses in connection with the Arkansas phase of the investigation. We also had reason to believe that Bill Clinton lied under oath with respect to the Arkansas phase of the investigation. Right. So we had found...
Paula Jones you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about the Arkansas phase.
Before Paula. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the Whitewater phase of the investigation.
But those charges were dismissed is not the right word. Not pursued. So why resurrect them?
No,
that was when he was governor.
Before, that's what the appointment was of Robert Fisk and of yours truly. Look into this. And so what we did it professionally. We gathered the facts, we assessed the facts, and we determined, both with Bill and with Hillary, with the president and the first lady, that we did not have sufficient evidence to bring charges. That doesn't mean we didn't find anything. We found lots. We found lots and lots and lots, but we made a professional judgment that we didn't have the evidence to prove their guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. I lay all this out in Contempt. You can ignore it. You can characterize it any way you want to.
Yeah.
That's what you're paid to
I get it. So now we've got Donald Trump, who on Air Force One lied to the press and said, I didn't pay any money to that porn star. I didn't have an affair with her. I know nothing about it. And we now know that all of that is untrue. In fact, we have it in his own words. Is he impeachable?
Of course he's impeachable.
Should he be impeached for that?
At this stage, and one of the messages of my book, which you've been kind enough to mention, is don't go there, American people. I think one of the lessons that we learned from the Clinton years is even if a president committed crimes, and lying to the American people is not a crime. We haven't made that a crime yet. Congress could make it a crime. They have made perjury and obstruction of justice a crime. And no one seriously disagrees with the proposition that I know of, that the President of the United States, Bill Clinton, committed crimes. Now,
the crime of perjury.
Perjury, obstruction of justice. We also included 9/11.
But he was trying to. I mean, I don't want to justify this. I'm as uncomfortable with that as probably anybody. But, he was trying to cover up an affair from his wife and from the country as well. Lyndon Johnson had affairs. Richard Nixon had affairs. Ronald Reagan, maybe not. Who knows? I mean, he was kind of senile at that point, but he certainly had had an affair with what's her name? When he was married to his first wife.
Jane Wyman.
Jane Wyman. Name a president who didn't have an affair. I don't. I guess we're relitigating the Clinton thing, but
I know you're coming back to. But here's the short answer. The morality of relationships is for the American people and even for Congress to say we're going to impeach by virtue of marital infidelity. That does not happen. What does happen is if a president commits crimes, and that's what's being investigated right now by Bob Mueller. If he committed crimes, I'll bet you we're going to find out about that information. It's going to come to light because we have in this system, as I try to describe in the book, a rule of law system. So you can dismiss things any way you want to on rhetorical, political grounds or just good government, but don't lie. I mean, haven't we seen in the Trump investigation a number of people who pled guilty to lying to the FBI?
Yeah, I'm frankly far more concerned about Trump lying to us that he was going to give us health care insurance that was cheaper than Obamacare. I'm concerned about Trump lying to us that he was going to protect the environment. I'm concerned about Trump lying to us that he was here for the little guy and he was going to bring back jobs. But anyway, that's my rant business. Ken Starr, his new book is called Contempt, a memoir of the Clinton investigation. Ken, thanks for dropping by today.
Hey, thank you, Tom.
Good talking with you. We'll be right back.